pace, but also, bless her, she was walking, she was skipping, she was... Right, so we need, the walk starts with a bit of a kind of preamble.
Yeah.
Then there's a photograph of the house as it was. There's a photograph of the family. Then there's a photograph of him at the kennel. And then he's at the gate, gorgeous little photograph, waving to everybody from this gate. So the idea is that it's his daily walk.
Yep, I like it.
Right.
So tell me if we're going left or straight.
That's the
We're going
road.
straight.
That's the road.
Otherwise you're going to cut into me and people are going, look, that bloke must be getting well annoyed with his wife. Just keeps cutting him up. I can remember vaguely.
Yep. Photograph here of this terrace as it was
Yep.
back in the day. Because this was for the boarding house, but I mean as it is now, but it was kind of, it was like souped red.
Oh really?
Really high class.
It was Peter, wasn't it?
You had to have some money to stay in these and in all the hotels with them.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's just incredible what's happened, what's happened in subsequent years.
Yeah.
Because as to how it was in the 1920s and 30s, it was like...
Most of the apartments as well.
Well, it's kind of bedsit.
Council and bedsit, yeah.
Yes, that's right. And then as we come to about here, photo of primary school, which was up here on this side.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, so he didn't have far to go. Bit of a preamble about the primary school, a photograph of him in uniform, and there was a they used to play cricket just here as well, so we have playing cricket on the actual playing field. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, what, so presumably the car park wasn't there?
No. When you see the photographs, you'll be amazed as to how beautiful it was and what was here before. So yes, all of this, the primary school was there on this part of the car park. This was all their playground and everything else.
The pier must have been there, obviously.
Yes, but not as it. Well, wait till you see it.
Really.
I've got photographs of that as well, exactly as was. There was a theatre that would have sat 600 people.
Really?
Yes.
What there?
Yes. Blue Lagoon tea rooms.
Fine.
And the pier was free working. It was receiving pleasure steamers from London, from...
I knew about the pleasure steamers because we did something about Pito.
400 people
I didn't know that.
piling off on a daily basis during the summer. Yep.
Cool.
Okay. I mean, it's you know...
Oh yeah,
that kind of
repair point last time down here on the right.
That's right, yeah, that's right.
So just keep up speed, we're on 3 minutes.
Okay.
It's actually quite nice, there's a little bit of cloud in the sky today.
I'm thinking schools if we cross here.
Yeah.
This is a safe route.
Yeah. Good idea. It's quite nice, there's a little bit of dappled light today, not
it's better.
too intense.
And it's not blowing everyone.
Exactly. Just look at myself in the window to make sure I'm walking neatly. Or as neat as I can.
Okay. As we turn the corner,
Yep.
there's a photograph, which is of the street as it was.
Oh, am I going to get under the tree?
The streets as it was in 1920.
Yeah.
Complete transformation.
Really?
Beautiful shops. So you'd have cafes and you'd have grocery shops and you'd have this tailor, high-end tailor. This is the bit. This is the bit.
We'll just chop this.
Yeah.
Fine.
Because it looks like it's all.
Yeah. So 4 minutes 30 chop footage. Just remind me when we get in the studio.
And also as well, this bit would be better for the commentary.
Yes.
Yeah, it would work far better.
Yeah.
Because you talk about the street, and then it's when you get to this corner that it all starts getting interesting again, because then it talks about Taylor,
Oh, really?
his dad used to go to the fact that Britten all his dad's clothes that came from that table.
Really?
Right up until he died.
Really?
He was wearing his jackets, he was wearing his tux, all sort of belonged to his dad. He was wearing it for concerts and things and going out. And then on the corner, what's the florist?
Oh, yeah, the rose thing.
That was Devereux's. Devereux's high-end roses. There was one on the triangle at the top end of town and one here. And huge shop. Family got their groceries from there. Found adverts of all sorts of things that we were doing, some different things we were doing at the time.
We went down here, didn't we?
Yep. I mentioned about the swimming baths.
Didn't you notice that? Lowering the knee.
With course here, yeah. Obviously slipper baths. This was the bathhouse. Slipper bathhouse. His dad used to go for a constitutional seawater bath every Sunday afternoon because it was said to be good for the health.
Oh.
So all these little sort of anecdotes related, like how people lived and what they did, and just all these little things.
As you're talking currently, it's like a virtual commentary because we know that you've had something to talk about all the time, and there's not any big gaps at the moment.
Just stop in front of schools. Yeah, that's it. Because I was going to get things going. We didn't press the lights. This is
Do we wait for green?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's what was going to be seen to do.
Yeah.
You went before it was green. Get around.
And then we start talking about the...
No one near as sensible as the one we saw with that little girl.
It's like skipping.
Look, he could almost have a camera on his back. So stable the way he's running.
It's tricky. Start talking about hotels, big hotels in town. Mentioning Hatfield first of all, obviously.
Yeah.
Part of Peter's vision.
Yeah.
Talking a bit more about that. So, and then as we kind of come past Hatfield and the Marine Parade comes into view,
Yeah.
photograph transformed back again. Not as posh as where they moved to, where they started, but their first home was here in 43.
I didn't know that.
And they just got married, and the other children were there.
The album hadn't gone to number one.
I see. This is the bit where it's all talking about Peter's vision and what things to kind of hotels of the area. Talk about Hatfield, talk about Victoria.
Yeah.
And it brings us nicely as we
Gorgeous skies again.
Yes, I know. Well, it helps.
I'm just watching us as we go.
Got a photograph of this terrace as it was. On commentary we'll be talking about all the hotels and Peter's grand vision. And then as we get to the end of this block of houses, which again this has got a story to tell, which I'll come back to, we end up at the Royal Green.
Yes.
Which wasn't there, because instead of the Royal Green there was the biggest hotel I've ever seen in my life.
Oh really?
Oh, the Royal Hotel.
Really? What, here?
Yeah, just here.
Imagine the views.
Oh, spectacular. It was said to be the best, if not one of the top 10 best in the country. People used to travel from miles to come.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I can imagine. I never knew that.
Yeah. And kind of it was the hotel to be out of all of them. It was the one that people wanted to stay in.
Was it anything to do with Peter, or was it private?
No, it was part of the vision, part of the plan.
Wow.
But it was, I think, probably local industry, local people who started it. But it was having these grand hotels was part of Peter's vision. And then, obviously, the pavilion was not there.
No.
But as we come up to the corner, we're then going to just stop for a second and just look to the left, because again, there's going to be quite a significant photo.
What happened to the hotel?
Second World War,
Ah,
as with the rest of the terrace
Wow.
of these houses, because that terrace continued.
right.
So it continued to about here.
These wouldn't mind us with the view, obviously.
Yeah, true. and then the Grand Hotel was here, just on this side.
That's crazy.
Great photographs. I managed to get a photograph of it from this side, not from the beach side.
Yeah.
So literally it transforms to as you would walk past it.
Wow.
2 years of research on this. 2 years. Looking through every archive and every single thing you can imagine. It's where I found things, and sometimes it's been really interesting. The most significant thing was at the archive in Holborn, at his old
Oh, yeah,
place
yeah.
where he died. I asked to see the diaries from his time, from his childhood. Talk about emotion.
Really?
Oh my word, I've read it in transcript before, but these diaries were like, they would fit in the palm of your hand. They were tiny, tiny little child tiny diaries. So you had there were secret diaries,
Yeah, of course.
and of course it catalogued all these different things that happened to him. A place like, kind of went as far as Neston, had tea, and went to just like all these just everyday normal things.
Yeah.
Things that kids do now.
Yeah.
You know what happened at school.
Yeah.
You know.
Lily has a diary. Well, she's got a notepad and she writes in it. And I was putting her to bed a couple of nights ago. I went in to check on her. She was asleep, so I pulled the duvet up. And it was laying next to her. And I was like, oh, sorry. And I said, dear diary, today I went to my auntie's. Our cat now lives there. She saved him something. I thought, oh, stuff. And there was a few other bits about she went to feed the tortoise. And then right at the bottom it says, anyway, I must get to sleep now. Peace out. That's how she ended it.
Pause. Okay, we'll pause and we'll just do a little left, okay? So which now is not particularly pretty,
This one on the
but
corner.
that building across the road is going to transform into St John's Church, which was the main church in the area. The family went there to where he had his first public performances as a child and young man. So we'll talk about the significance of that. And it was again, Second World War, various things. The church ended up being demolished in the 1970s in the end because it fell such disrupt. And then we're going to move across to the Wall Memorial.
Oh yeah.
Because he was a child here in the First World War. The family lived through the war, so we're going to come to the front here. So where the sunrise mosaic thing is, we're going to stand on that and look at the Wall Memorial. It's going to transform back into a photograph of when it was opened and they were in the crowd.
Yeah. So when we obviously we'll just
Pause here for a second.
when we
Family saw action, talk about what happened in the harbour, etc.
he used to hang around with a lad called Robert Godfrey, who was like his best buddy. And he used to live up by my dentist at Corset.
Okay, they live on, his mum and dad are Gunton.
That's what I mean, sorry, that is that road.
Station Road, I think.
Yeah.
They're still there. They're still there. So do you know Fraser Wilson?
I know the name.
Yeah.
Don't know
Because
why.
he's a good pal as well.
Right.
Of who I now know, and he's now working for Britten Piers down at St Maltings,
Oh really?
which has been a really great connection because I've just brought him on board for the committee as well for everything.
Oh lovely.
Keeping it local.
Yeah,
Keeping
I like it.
everybody local. Nobody from outside at all. Plenty of people have wanted to, believe
Absolutely.
me. They've wanted to get out and say, local only.
When you see that, just say Trevor Fuller.
I will too. I'm speaking to
I
him
can't
tonight.
believe it.
I'm
It's so
speaking to
funny.
him tonight.
I haven't seen him. I mean, we bumped into each other in passing on a job about 10 or 12 years ago, probably. And I was like, no way, hello.
Yeah.
What are you up to then?
I'm doing a tour, but I can't stop walking. Sorry.
Photograph here of the harbour as it was, with all the boats, all the steam drifters, and you could walk across them. Lots of information about that. The family used to come down, whereas other families would avoid this area like the plague because they thought it was smelly. The family used to come down and used to watch the fishing girls. I've got a photograph of the fishing girls, which are going to come in, the herring girls, that kind of thing. walk to the dairies, and
Do you
then
go
we're gonna
this way or
swing,
round? Yeah,
swing
so I
round.
thought.
Swing round.
So when we
Let's
obviously
get a
drop a
big view of the
photo
sea.
into the tour,
Yes.
obviously they don't take over the whole tour.
No, no,
they
no,
take
no,
over the
just-
space where we float it.
That's all we need. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Good
I wanted to get a big view. Big view.
Yeah, let's go right to that corner. Crazy because seen
This is
everything come in here when I was a kid.
Well, I talk about children's corner as well. It's so much better as a day performer. It's
Yeah,
really
I mean,
quite
the
beautiful.
tide time and everything is perfect. It's just sand. I mean, it's great, but it's not.
It's beautiful.
We're halfway out to sea now. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Two children's corner.
17 and a half minutes, probably.
Nice.
Forget the payment. I'll just have an Audi, a BMW i8.
Well, I'll do the lottery this week.
Yeah, I did
I'll
it
win.
yesterday. I won yesterday.
Did you? What did you win?
£2.80. Yeah.
Gosh.
3 days before, I won 36 quid.
That's,
I think it's the most I've ever won.
The trouble is, I waste so much money doing it. That's the trouble. I
Yeah,
gave up
same here.
years ago.
I go through fix and start, so I'll just suddenly go to the counter when I get my petrol. Go, just give me 10 whatever, lucky dips.
Yeah.
And then they suddenly go, it's 50 quid. I'm like, what? They're like, they're £2 each. Last time I did it, I was like, sure they're not a pound each.
So expensive. So expensive.
Cost of living.
Yeah, it is. Everything's gone. Anyway, children's corner. Photograph.
So, where is Children's Corner?
Children's corner is here.
On the beach.
Yes, on the beach.
And that's just stand
So we
here
can,
for a second.
and it'll transform into children's corner with all the Punch and Judy, all the kids watching.
Oh,
You can see this South Pier as it was. Got a theatre on it. And the yacht club where his dad went. So there's lots of nice preamble about Punch and Judy and all that kind of thing. And all the stuff from the commentaries come out of the diaries. Either Britten's diary or out of his sister Beth's diary. So they're talking about the shops and they're going down to the beach, and so it's all come from there. And then,
Straight from the horse.
yeah, good question. And then we start to come in here, and it picks up again about that terrace of houses and what happened to it when it was there before.
Up ahead, those ones.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, well,
Oh, yeah, because we'd
Jesus.
now be the other side of the hotel.
That's it. That's it. We're coming in front of the hotel. So basically, what was there before? A few little facts about it and interesting things.
Sam is right. I'm getting a little bit warm.
I bet you are. I'm warm. I'm warm.
I got cramp in my legs as well because I haven't straightened my knees since we left. I don't know if I look mental from the side, but I'm walking with a very slight. So my knees never actually go bang.
Well, at least you're not swaggering like I do.
But I'm very conscious of it, so I'm keeping my upper body as still as possible.
After filming that, I've just become so conscious. Just like, can I walk straight? Can I walk left? No, I can't. It's off they go.
No, it is just how
Hips.
cool I am.
Yes, they're on the side.
Yeah, keep going. We'll go to the other side. I'm just trying to get out of everyone's face with the camera so they're not staring at it.
Yeah, it's true. This one's got this one's got doors like that.
Don't mind them asking, I just can't stop to tell them.
Exactly, that's it.
We're on the clock.
Excellent, yes. We can't stop.
So 15, so we're coming up to 20 minutes,
Mhm.
which is still 10 minutes less.
Great.
currently.
It's great, good. The pace is much better.
Tell you what, we should have followed that.
Yeah, it's true. Just like,
Could have done it in
just
4
whisper,
minutes.
just whisper. Then all the kids will be like, come on, do it, man, let's go
Yeah.
and bring scooters.
We've done it on segways and stuff before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
But obviously it just depends where you are.
Actually, for a day for filming, this is better.
It's perfect. No
Oh,
wind.
I mean, look at the light, isn't it
I
beautiful?
know, it's a beautiful
Absolutely
cloud.
stunning. And then we're coming up to Triton.
Oh yes, yes.
Do you know about Triton? I know there's two of them, but do you know why they're there?
No.
Okay. Part of Peter's vision. Triton was the son of Neptune,
Yeah?
okay, god of the sea. His significance is the fact that he carried the horn of plenty, which is what he has in his hands there.
Yeah.
And the horn of plenty gushes forth with all of the harvest of the sea.
I was going to say fish and
So it
shellfish
was
and whatever.
exactly. So it was a sign to the
Prosperity
town,
of the sea.
prosperity of
Yeah.
the sea, prosperity of the town, which is why there's two of them to sort of welcome in the fishing fleets and welcome in the tourists and welcome in the, it's kind of a gateway.
Yep.
That's why there's two of them.
Where is the second one?
Second one we passed it was by Children's
Oh,
Club.
that was the one on the... Yeah, sorry.
But
yeah,
this is the one we're focusing on because
As soon as you said it, I just
that's the
remembered.
one. This is the one with the plaque on it. Plus, back there was Children's Corners. That was nothing.
I'm walking cycle lane. Quite mad. I've worked in a few of these guys in harbours.
I know people who've got the 15s now
Oh, right.
because they've opened the bar in the basement.
Oh, really?
Because the footprint of the bar
Yeah.
is the same as the footprint of the ground floor. It's huge. It's
Oh,
vast.
really? Cool, the classic.
There's enough people out and that's fine. It's just I
Yeah.
wanted to show people on the beach, but that's fine.
Yeah, people doing stuff. I'm keeping back a little bit because we're right next to it, so I have to look up.
Okay.
So we're going to stop there.
Stop here and have a look. Look at the lighting and stuff.
Perfect.
Yes, yes. As we are going over to the park, Walking Gardens next.
Like I say, there's no bin lid blowing open here today.
Oh, seagulls fishing things up.
Yeah.
That was bizarre as well. Yeah, you lived. Oh, look at that. Seagulls, like, yeah, what an inconvenience.
Yeah. What a pain is that?
Yeah. Yeah, that condition's much better. Can't do that as much. I'm probably convinced steps are smooth.
It's just that constant bend to the knee. I swear, there's a friend of mine down there. But I can't stop and I can't wait, but that is definitely way to go. I'll send it to her later.
Which particular? She swims down here most days.
She's one of the key singers from Potters. Really good friend of mine, Sam. Now, did you swim the bike here?
Into the entrance, yes.
Oh, sorry, yeah, me and
Into the
Sam went
garden.
that way to get back straight
That's
up
right.
to it.
That's it. So we're just going to step inside and it's going to suddenly go boom back into the photograph. And this is a great photograph because it just gives the full perspective of stand in front of us.
Which is the photo showing where? What is it showing off?
Okay, so stop and look, and in front of us, the gardens are here.
Mm-hmm.
The school reappears here in its former glories. There, you can see everything.
Oh, so
You can
there's
see
no
their.
bushes.
You can even see their house. So it's this view exactly as it was in 1920, but with the school and everything there.
Nice. Give it another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And which way did you go? Back this way?
We go out again. Yeah.
Did you go straight out here or
Yeah,
up the park?
we'll go straight.
Yeah,
Doesn't really
fine.
matter, but we'll go straight out. It's a big sea view on the way out.
Yeah, nice.
Up to Claremont.
I was trying to stay in the middle of the park and things.
Yeah, it's
Visually.
visually looks better. I think we were all over the place actually.
Yeah, we had a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
She's like a bag of monkeys.
Just why, because I said to him, do I bring my dog? And he went, is that a good idea? I was like, no, it's not. I've got a spring spangled board and probably cross cat.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah. She'd be just
I'm mental.
bounce. Very cute, but
Yeah.
not the best, smoothest of walks.
Yeah, I think one of the funniest things when I bumped into Seb, I can't remember what job we were on. And,
Because you know what he's doing now, don't you?
no, I think he's doing BBC and radio and stuff last time I spoke to
He's
him.
been poached by Classic FM. He's got his own evening show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
No.
every night, smooth classics. with Zeb Simmons from Central Park.
It's just mental.
I
Because
think
if you
I
met
think
him at
Cent-
school, you would never have guessed that he'd do voiceover work.
Really?
But when I spoke to him on the last time, because we didn't see each other from middle school
Right.
until 10 years later, and obviously everyone's voice changes, and I was
course
like,
they
oh no
do.
way, he's got this incredible baritone.
It's amazing voice.
He always spoke well,
Yes.
but you know,
But he cultivated it.
Yeah.
Because he originally wanted, he studied acting, he wanted to be an actor.
yeah,
But he kept getting offered parts of like people who were like much older than himself.
right.
So and then the BBC broadcasting work came up, interview came up,
That's
and he went
right,
for that
yeah.
and got it.
Yeah.
So no, he is the presenter. He's one of the faces of Pascal. It's great,
Great.
really great. So if we stand and look at the front of the pavilion,
Yeah.
at the pier, sorry.
Sure.
So
Yeah,
just
in the
stand
middle
about
there.
here, yeah, and just stop and turn.
Oh, sorry. That's quite funny because you're always where I want to be.
Sorry.
No, that's not a bad thing. It's because we've got the same vision that I
Yeah.
have.
And then this all transforms back to how it was in the 20s with the theatre and Blue Lagoon, tea rooms.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And then this lovely vision of the pier as it was.
A different picture, you mean? Or
No, just the same one, but it's
yeah.
a good picture because it shows
Yeah.
it shows everything.
Yeah.
Start talking at this point about their beach hut, and there's a photograph of him on the beach with his mum,
Oh, really?
and also about coastal erosion,
Yep.
because it was a major problem in his time when he was a child.
Wow.
And all
even
of
then.
the sea defences here were wooden. None of this bit was here.
Right.
It was all wooden. So this photograph where he's on the beach with his mother shows all the defences behind,
Yes.
and the fact there was such a drop as well to the
Yeah.
beach as all of that's built up. So general talking, and then sort of coming back up to where we started.
Right, so then after this we can do it again, but I'll press record here.
Don't even joke. And then we're going to come up to finish the walk on the site where
Obviously the car park looking out to sea.
the statue is going to be.
Oh, is that where it's going to be?
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
In fact, they're now proposing it's going to be on here, actually on the walkway,
As opposed to where?
on the car park.
Oh, I thought it was going to be on the,
Well,
I'd imagine the
it might
walkway.
end up either or, but
Yeah.
we're pushing for it to end up on here if the ground is solid
Yeah.
enough for the footings to go in.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still. It's going to take a long time to raise the money. It will happen,
Mhm.
but just eventually. So I've finished it with just up here, so we can stand and look out to sea, and then people get the commentary. Will talk about returning to where we began. His vision of the future, how everything he saw from his bedroom window affected him for the rest of his life. Listen to his music.
Yeah.
The comment that comes out the diary constantly is just like, what bliss is home. That's the thing that just keeps coming out again and again. He hated going away, he loved coming back.
Oh, wow. Funny that.
They sent him to boarding school for a couple of years. He spent most of it in sick bay. He was absolutely miserable.
I'm just going to go past the bin so I don't have to look at it.
Okay.
And then I'll go over to the wall nearby. Ironically, Sam and I were saying a bit like that, and we say whenever best thing about working in London is leaving London.
Well, they got to a point whereby he was happy at school, everything was going really well, his music was going really well, and then his dad decided that he was getting a bit soft,
Oh, yeah.
so he was going to send him to a boarding school in Norfolk. And he was only there for a couple of years, and he witnessed bullying, it was just a horrific, awful experience.
Stop it here.
Yeah.